Hey man, sometimes all it takes is 10 seconds. 10 seconds of silence, 10 seconds of stillness, 10 seconds of eye contact, 10 seconds of walking away when she thought you'd lean in, 10 seconds of doing the opposite of what she expected. That's all it takes to flip the entire power dynamic, not through aggression, not through manipulation, but through presence. And if you understand how to use those seconds wisely, you don't just shift how she sees you, you reset how she responds to you forever. Because power isn't about being louder, it's about being unpredictably grounded. Power dynamics are constantly in motion. The moment you start chasing, reacting, proving, you give it away. And when she knows exactly how you'll respond, when she can read every emotional move you make before you make it, she starts relaxing into control. And that control, emotional, psychological, or even conversational, is what kills the chase. But when you interrupt her rhythm with 10 seconds of unexpected presence, you disrupt the pattern. You remind her that you're not here to follow, you're here to lead. And that subtle interruption becomes a power move she can't stop thinking about. Here's what most men miss. Flipping the power dynamic doesn't start with doing more. It starts with doing less, but with confidence. It's about holding eye contact for a second longer than is comfortable and then saying nothing. It's about hearing her emotional jab and not flinching. It's about watching her test your frame and not reacting the way every other guy would. That shift, in a single moment, makes her recalibrate. She feels it in her nervous system. This man isn't emotionally pliable, he's solid, and in that moment, you become the one she has to adjust to. Want to flip the power dynamic in a conversation? Here's how she challenges you. She tries to bait you into explaining, defending, justifying. Most men fall into that trap. They start talking too much. But you pause. You let the silence sit heavy, you let her words echo for a beat too long, and then you either don't respond at all, or you give a calm, minimal answer. That restraint, that calm indifference, it throws her off balance, and now she's not controlling the frame, you are. All it took was 10 seconds of quiet certainty. Power doesn't chase, power pauses. So the next time she pulls back slightly, instead of flooding her with energy, you pull back even more. You match distance with stillness, not coldness, composure. And she feels it. She feels that you're not shaken, that you're not scrambling for connection. And that contrast from every other man she's known, that's what makes her step back toward you. Because now, you've shown her she doesn't dictate the tempo, you do. And tempo is everything when it comes to attraction. One of the most powerful flips happens during eye contact. She's looking at you, expecting flirtation or distraction, but instead, you just hold, calm, present, still. You don't look away, you don't smirk, you don't break. You let her feel that you're not intimidated, that you're not in a rush, that you're not performing. And after a few seconds, she feels it. You're not there to please her, you're there to observe her. That shift is subtle, but electric, because now you're no longer reacting to her beauty. You've become the mirror she's not used to facing. Here's another 10-second power move. She sends a vague teasing text or a half-invested message. You don't reply immediately, you wait, you go live your life, you respond hours later or even the next day. Not with spite, but with calmness. No explanation, no sarcasm, just presence. And now, she's wondering, why didn't you bite? Did she mess up? Is he losing interest? Those questions, that mental looping, that's power being flipped. Because she thought she was in control, and now she's seeking your energy again. A lot of guys think flipping the power dynamic is about acting aloof or trying to look dominant, but that's all surface level noise. The real power is emotional detachment paired with internal certainty. It's when you don't react to her mood swings, when you don't explain why you need space, when you walk away from disrespect without announcing it. That quiet exit, that calm silence, that's the power shift. Not because you punished her, but because you showed her your self-worth doesn't require permission. You flip the power when you stop rewarding inconsistency. She pulls away, you don't lean harder, you mirror it. She tests you, you don't argue, you observe. She tries to provoke, you smile, and then disengage. You're no longer there to be tugged around by her emotions, you're there to lead the emotional space. And the moment she realizes she doesn't dictate the flow, you do. That's when her energy changes. She softens, she recalibrates, she begins to chase clarity again. Flipping the power dynamic isn't about dominance, it's about direction. And the most magnetic men are the ones who don't ask for power. They simply hold it. They don't argue for respect, they embody it. So when you use your tone, your pace, your silence, and your presence to disrupt the usual game, everything shifts. Because now she's not just interacting with you, she's responding to you. And when a woman starts responding instead of leading, you've already flipped the script. You maintain the power you flipped by staying emotionally unavailable to drama, not cold, not rude, just immune to the chaos. She tries to escalate, provoke, throw a curveball. You don't react. You nod. You smile. You stay quiet. And if needed, you walk. No explanation, no apology, no punishment, just pure masculine detachment. She may not show it, but deep down, she's watching. She's realizing you're not like the others. You don't move when she yells. You don't chase when she withdraws. You stand like a damn mountain. And that's the kind of energy she doesn't forget. Here's the thing, the moment you get emotional to prove a point, you lose the power you gained. You step out of your calm masculine frame and start wrestling in her emotional arena. Don't. When you feel that tension building, pause, breathe. Let the storm pass without stepping into it. 10 seconds of silence can speak louder than 20 minutes of explaining. That stillness, it teaches her more than any clever line ever could. You're showing her, through restraint, that her emotional chaos doesn't dictate your movement. You lead through stillness, not reaction. And when she tries to re-engage after you flip the dynamic, don't rush back to being soft. Let her earn access again. She'll test it. She'll try to see if the new you is real. Don't break. Stay selective with your time. Be warm, but unpredictable. Stay consistent in your calm. Because when she realizes this version of you isn't a phase, it's who you've become, she'll start showing up differently, with more respect, with more effort, with a softness that only appears when a woman feels the weight of a man's absence. You also flip the dynamic when you stop making her the focus. You stop waiting for her reply. Stop checking her stories. Stop planning your day around when she's available, and start pouring that attention into yourself. When your mission becomes the center of your life, not her mood swings, you glow different. You move different. You feel different. And she feels that shift in you. It's not words. It's not attitude. It's the weight of a man who doesn't orbit her anymore. He's building his own gravity. And she either enters that orbit or gets left behind. There's also this powerful moment you create when you don't respond to the bait. She expects you to explain, to chase, to react, and you don't. You smile, you say alright, and walk. That's 10 seconds of control that burn into her memory. She replays it, wonders about it, tries to understand why it didn't work on you. And that curiosity, that wondering, that's how attraction reignites. Because now she's not just trying to win the conversation. She's trying to win back the version of you that no longer needs her approval. The power dynamic flips fully when your silence becomes charged. When she feels more tension from what you don't say than from anything you could have said. And that only happens when you're anchored inside. When you've done the inner work. When you've built a life so complete that her presence is welcomed but not required. You become calm because you have options, because you know who you are, because her drama isn't something you need to tame, it's something you decide if you even want to engage with. And here's the cold truth. Most women have never met a man who can hold 10 seconds of unshaken calm. They're used to cracking frames with tone, with withdrawal, with tests. But when she throws all that at you, and you just breathe and hold eye contact and don't flinch, she feels it. She feels her own control slipping. And in that exact moment, you become the anchor she can't move. She may not say it out loud, but inside, that's when her respect for you spikes. Don't use this to manipulate, use it to elevate. Because flipping the power isn't about winning over her, it's about taking your energy back so you stop bleeding into women who don't earn it. You stop being emotionally broke because you were too available, too responsive, too predictable. You reclaim your pace, your mission, your peace. And that reclamation automatically reverses the chase, because now you're the one who's in motion and she's the one trying to catch up. And the best part, you don't have to make a scene. You don't have to act alpha. You don't need to threaten or announce your power. You just have to pause. You hold. You stay calm. You don't respond first. You let the weight of your stillness carry the message. I'm not here to chase you. I'm here to lead myself. And that's the kind of man a woman doesn't just want, she follows. Because in the end, flipping the power dynamic in 10 seconds isn't about changing her. It's about changing how you show up. It's about stopping the chase, silencing the over-explaining, returning to your breath, and making the moment bend around your energy instead of letting it control you. That, right there, that stillness, that composure, that emotional self-command is the most seductive form of power a man can ever hold. And once you learn to stand in it, everything, and I mean everything, starts moving in your direction.